Hi boys and girls, so this is a short video on today's lesson, fronted adverbials. So what is a fronted adverbial? So the aim of today's session, I can recognize and use fronted adverbials. So what is an adverbial? An adverbial is a word, phrase or clause that is used like an adverb to modify a verb or a clause. Adverbs can be used as adverbials, but many other types of words, phrases and clauses can be used in this way, including prepositional phrases and subordinate clauses. Lots to take in there. And we've looked at subordinate clauses in class. We've looked at prepositional phrases in class. So you should know what those are. So what is a fronted adverbial? When an adverbial is used at the beginning of a sentence, they often call it fronted adverbial because it's at the front. So the types of fronted adverbial. So you can have the time something happens, the frequency, so how often, the place, something happens, the manner, that's today's focus for the main task, the manner something happens, and the possibility, so how likely something is going to happen, or if it's already happened. So e.g., before sunrise, Darius crept into the beast's cave. So that tells you the time. Frequency, every so often, Darius could hear the beast's ferocious snore. So that tells you the frequency, so how often, it was every so often. The place, at the back of the cave, the terrifying creature began to stir. So the manner, as quick as a flash, Darius bounded behind a nearby rock. So that tells you the manner in which that happened, as quick as a flash. And the possibility, almost certainly the deadly beast would find Darius. Dun, dun, dun. So almost certainly. So poor Darius. It's not looking good for poor Darius. Did you notice how the fronted adverbials were punctuated? So have a little look now at all the fronted adverbials, and is there anything you can see which separates them from the rest of the sentence? Can you see? So adding commas, yes, well done. Every fronted adverbial word, phrase or clause needs to be followed by a comma to separate it from the main clause sentence. Where should the comma go in this fronted adverbial sentence? So have a go. Pause the video now and read the sentence and have a go. So slowly and carefully, they released their juvenile badger back into the wild. Can you spot where that comma will go? Yes, well done. Slowly and carefully. And did you guess what type of fronted adverbial? Yes, manner. Manner. So it tells us how the badger was released back into the wild. Next one. So where should the comma go in this fronted adverbial sentence? On Tuesday, class 12 are visiting the Imperial War Museum. Have a go. Yes. And do you know what type of fronted adverbial it is? Have a go now. Time, of course it is. It tells us the day, absolutely. Next one. Without a doubt, Billy was going to finish the race in first place. So without a doubt. Can you tell what type of fronted adverbial? And also, can you tell where the comma is going to go? Yeah, you're getting the hang of this now. And then do you know what kind of fronted adverbial? Possibility, of course it is. Well done. Well done. Out in the field, the horse and her new foal galloped. So can you, first of all, tell me where the comma goes? Yes. And what type of fronted adverbial is it? It's place, because it's out in the field. It's telling you where the event is happening with the horse. So can you spot the fronted adverbials in this piece of text? Do they describe time, frequency, manner, place, or possibility of the action in the main clause? So this is quite a long piece of text. I'm going to read it to you, and then you're going to have a little go at seeing if you can spot some of the fronted adverbials. Against all the odds, Captain Kirk got to his rocket before his oxygen supply ran out. Back in the safety of his shuttle, he removed his helmet and began to prepare for takeoff. Suddenly, there was a loud crash at the shuttle door. The aliens must have caught up with him. Feeling intimidated, the captain quickly strapped himself into his seat as the door began to buckle. Almost certainly, the aliens would capture him if he didn't leave his planet right away. With a trembling finger, he pressed the launch button. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Seconds later, Kirk was in the air, but something was wrong. The fuel tank gauge showed a dangerously low level of fuel. The extraterrestrial creatures must have caused it to leak. Spluttering noisily, the spacecraft started to stall. What was the captain going to do? So hopefully your fronted adverbial sensors were going off during the reading of that piece of writing, and you were spotting different fronted adverbials. So let's have a little look, see what you spotted. Did you spot any of these? So you can see the possibility against all the odds, the place, back in the safety of his shuttle, and then today's focus, manner. So you've got suddenly, there was a loud crash. You've got feeling intimidated, with a trembling finger, and spluttering noisily. Now, this is a really good tool for the challenge activity on today's. For the challenge today, you have to write your own fronted adverbial sentence in the style of manner, so a manner fronted adverbial. So using iSpace can help you remember 6 different ways to create fronted adverbials. So the I, ing word. So for example, shaking with fear, or a simile, like a raging bull. Preposition, so it tells you where something's happening. Behind the clouds. An adverb, anxiously. He prepared to take his post-test on Ready Writer. Conjunction, after he opened his eyes. Or an ed word, exhausted. Now notice what is at the end of each preposition, fronted adverbial, sorry, a comma, yes. So we're going to stop there. And I will just show you today's work. Here we go. So how did it happen? So what I would like you to do today is read the fronted adverbials here of manner, and you have to pop them in to the right sentences. So you've got to make sure they make sense, boys and girls. So the first one is the baby began to cry. Which one there makes sense if you insert it into the sentence? Remember also what you need at the end of your fronted adverbial. Yes, a comma. And I popped a challenge on the end. Now you can write your own sentence with a fronted adverbial for manner. So blow my socks off, boys and girls, with a fantastic sentence in there. And you will earn yourself some dojo points. So good luck, and I shall look forward to your fronted adverbial work.